What is up guys, Tunes here, and let's talk about a intoxicated customer I once had. Why are all my weird stories taking place in the Mexican restaurant? Shouldn't it be Denny's? Like, I was working at Denny's overnight. How does that make sense that I can think of more stories that happened to me in the Mexican restaurant than Denny's? Like, what? Nonetheless though, it was a typical, I believe, Tuesday, Wednesday, it was middle of the week, and I was alone. Typically those days aren't too busy, so I could manage on my own. Even if it got a little busy, I would manage on my own. This day, however, the whole day was just pretty much dead. Like, I maybe served in like 10 hours. Maybe 12, 13 tables, which honestly is not a lot. Now, aside from this really nice lady that was sitting at the bar, the restaurant was pretty much alone. It was just me, a dishwasher, a cook, and this lady. No one else. She was having some nachos and a couple beers. She was just hanging around, trying to kill some time. In comes douchebag customer. Now, this dude was, I want to say, around his 50s, because he was definitely wrinkly, but not too wrinkly, and his appearance was that of kind of like a biker. And while yes, he was most definitely a biker, and most likely was in some sort of bike gang, he wasn't really intimidating. I don't know if that makes sense. He had the look, he had the tone, the attitude, but he just didn't seem intimidating. The dude sits down at the bar, and I could smell a little bit of alcohol in his breath. Not a whole lot, so I didn't really get concerned about it right off the bat. So I do the typical routine. I sit him down, hand him a menu, hand him some silverware, and I ask him, what can I get you to drink? And he just gets a 16-ounce beer. It's whatever, I serve it, and I come back to him in like a couple minutes. He decides to order a dish called ceviche de camarón, which is a seafood that is cold, and it's really good. It's pretty much a shrimp dish. And you usually eat it with hot sauce and saltine crackers. That's the typical way to eat it, right? So the dish gets prepared. I bring it out to him, and I bring the hot sauce, some lime, and about 4 or 5 packets of saltine crackers. And I drop them off in the bar in front of him, and I tell him, can I get you something else? He looks me dead in the eye, and he's so upset for some reason. And I ask him, what's wrong, sir? And he's like, did you touch those crackers with your hands? Like, in my head I was like, yeah, how else am I gonna, bring them over to you? Well, done. But in the outside I was like, I did, sir, is there a problem with that? And he starts going off about how like that's so unsanitary and all this other crap. Keep in mind, they are sealed saltine crackers, like the packets are sealed, they haven't been opened. So I'm not entirely sure what he's going on about. I was shocked, not gonna lie. I'm like, whatever, I'm sorry sir, would you like me to get some more? He's like, no, it's whatever, I don't care, yada yada yada. He starts eating it, orders another beer, get him the beer, and leave him alone for like 5 minutes. I go to the back, stay there for like 5-10 minutes, because I don't want to deal with that crap, come back out, and him and the girl are talking. And that's fine, I don't really care. If you wanna intermingle with some sociopath, I don't care, go do it. So he orders one more beer and asks for his check, right? So I do that. I get him another beer and I bring him his check. He pays a check with cash, and I give him the change back, and he gives me a $5 tip. Cool, whatever, I don't care if you tip me or not. I was already making good money. So I check on the girl, she says she's fine, the guy is fine. I go back, sit down, to look at my phone. Honestly, I was looking at my phone. And I come back out, and he's like, hey, can you get me another beer and the lady another one? I was like, sure, what can I get you? And I got them both beers. He's like, and put it on my tab. I was like, okay, cool. So I do that, and he does this, I think, another 2 more times, so a total of 3 extra beers, right? So he was definitely drunk at this point, and I will be honest, I should not have served him, because once I served that last beer, I noticed he was pretty intoxicated. Luckily, he was walking, so he wasn't driving, but still, if you're a bartender or a waiter, measure your clients, don't just serve them stupidly. So while I'm sitting in a booth, away from the bar, I see him get up and try to walk away, to which I immediately stand up, and I'm like, hey dude, you need to pay for those beers. And he's like, I already paid you, remember? And I told him, yeah, you paid for your food and the 3 first beers you had. You haven't paid for these 6 total beers, you need to pay for them. Once again, he starts going off about how I'm ripping him off and that he already paid me and all this other crap. And he looks at the girl's like, isn't that right? And the girl's like, you haven't paid him for this beers. And he completely blows up and starts going, and he comes up to me like right to my face. And I still wasn't intimidated because he was not a scary looking guy. And honestly, he was pretty much a little bit smaller than me, so I was not afraid to, catch hands with this dude. So I look him dead in the eye, I'm like, you either pay or I'm calling the cops. And he goes, well, call them because you're ripping me off. And I tell him, we have security cams all over this, all over the restaurant. If you want to do this, let's do it. And he gets so upset and throws his money at me. And he's like, and I want you to give me those $5 back. And I looked at him in the eye. I took out from my, the tips I had made that day. I gave him $10 back. And I was like, here, dude, you clearly need it more than I do. Now get the hell out of my restaurant. And obviously, not my restaurant. But I was pissed off, so I was trying to look like more of an authority than I really was. He takes the money, walks away, and I make sure he leaves. I talk to the girl, she's fine, everything's fine. I cash him out, we're all good. About 5 minutes later, the owner calls me and says, hey, you good? I saw through the security cams we were about to fight some dude. You want me to call the cops? I'm like, nah, don't worry about it. It's all good. Just let it go. Moral of the story, don't argue with drunk people because they always think they're right. Also, violence doesn't solve anything. Don't catch hands. Nonetheless, though, I do appreciate you guys sticking around. Hope you have a wonderful day. And until next time, don't do drugs, because those things are bad for you.